It's not really possible to enjoy your life when you're stuck in addiction, when you're stuck in brain rot, when you're always scrolling, eating junk food, etc. And in our modern world, it's extremely easy to fall into addictions with these kinds of things. Our technology is extremely stimulating. It hijacks our brain. It gets us to kind of react unconsciously, and it's so easy for that addictive pathway to actually form. So in this video, I want to basically teach you how to break these addictions, how to cure brain rot. And this is incredibly important if you want to experience a fulfilling existence, if you want to be able to make clear decisions, if you want a clear mind, if you want to really fulfill your potential in your life, in your work, in your relationships, in your well-being, etc. So let's get one thing clear. When we are basically stuck in brain rot, we are actually destroying our ability to feel true joy. When we're always chasing endless pleasure, stimulation, etc., we're destroying our ability to feel true joy because we are not present in our experience. We are escaping the moment. We are avoiding ourselves chronically. And true fulfillment, true joy is found in reconnecting and having a deep sense of connection to the present experience and to yourself in the moment. You're also ruining your capacity to feel deeply, to sense into the moment deeply. You're ruining your capacity to be clear in your own mind and clear in your own body. So why are you constantly overstimulating yourself? You need to actually kind of think about this one for yourself. You have to recognize that your overstimulation is, first of all, an addiction. And what are we actually doing when we're addicted to something? What's going on beneath the surface? Essentially, addictive behaviors keep you in low vibe. They keep you feeling low. They keep you in low energy. You are giving your energy to something continuously that doesn't give back to you. It's like a toxic relationship or a job where you're severely underpaid, but you're working so much. You're giving so much, you're not receiving the things that you actually need. So a core cause of addiction is inner psychological and emotional wounding that we've repressed and we are unconscious of. So when you are addicted to something, you actually need psychological and emotional healing. And keep this in mind, everyone has lots of addictions. This is kind of a natural thing for the human mind to do in order to cope with its pain, with its suffering, with its stress, with its traumas, things like this. We just form addictions so that we don't have to feel things that are going on inside of us. Now, we need to also create a supportive environment for us to heal in, for us to detox in, for us to actually return to our sort of baseline state, for us to return to a state of well-being, of clarity, of safety, etc. So practicing meditation and committing to inner work is a really powerful way to start to overcome addiction because, like I said, addiction is unconscious. You don't really recognize that you're doing it. It's something you're kind of doing on autopilot. It's a subconscious behavior that you're doing, right? Your system is kind of just taking you over and you're almost just like a puppet on a string. It's a harsh realization, but it's very true. And by committing to inner work, by meditating, you begin to actually become more conscious of yourself, of your mind, of your addictions, of your emotions, of your wounds, of your traumas, and now you can heal them through that awareness. And that begins to allow you to let go of things like brain rot, those addictive behaviors that keep you stuck in that sort of low energy state. So let's talk about focus. When you're stuck in brain rot, you're destroying your ability to focus. And focus is something that you absolutely need. Your attention is something that you absolutely need to live a good life. If you want to build anything meaningful, a relationship or some kind of creative work, you need the capacity to focus on it over time. You need to sustain your attention there over time and return to it over and over and over again. If your attention span is destroyed, you can't really create anything meaningful because where your attention goes, your energy goes, right? Your energy follows your attention. And you need to be able to give your energy to things that you find meaningful and the things that give back to you. Because if you're giving your attention, your energy to things that you don't find meaningful, to things that don't give back to you, you're going to feel low. You're going to feel disconnected from yourself. You're going to feel like you're not really living the life that is really meant for you. You're going to feel very kind of distracted and numb and scattered and chaotic, etc. So Focus is a critical asset for fulfillment, achieving goals you love, changing yourself, being present, and having great relationships. Attention is your most valuable currency. Your energy follows your attention. And overstimulation is basically a way that you give your energy to pure noise, to pure BS for the most part. Right? Instead of investing that very, very useful energy into what actually matters to you, into your own well-being, into your career, into your relationships, into your self-actualization, into your self-transcendence, into your meditation practice, into your reading habit, into whatever. So let's talk about self-connection. When you are stuck in brain rot, you're basically disassociating from yourself, right? Like I said, addiction is kind of this like traumatic response, and our environment can also kind of prey upon these wounds and these tendencies that we have. So if we have a manipulative environment, and in many ways our technological era is full of ways that exploit us and manipulate us, if we have a poor environment, these tendencies that we have in our mind, which everyone has, is going to be exploited, right? And we're going to find ourselves stuck in addiction. So when we're disassociating from ourselves, this is, well, a traumatic response. And you're basically destroying the raw connection you have to life and yourself. Your connection to yourself, your present moment connection to yourself is extremely valuable. Things that destroy that, like junk food, poor relationships, poor work, brain rot, these are things that you need to actually like have boundaries with and genuinely like defend yourself from. Your present moment connection to yourself, your ability to feel safe being yourself in this moment, your ability to be present with yourself. These are things that you need to actually work on and like genuinely give energy and attention to if you want to actually feel very good, because these are needs that you have, and when you don't get needs met, pain happens. So when you're in brain rot, it's basically disconnecting you from your body and your emotions. You're seeking this kind of external hit, and you're avoiding what's actually going on inside you. You're avoiding your mind, you're avoiding your emotions, you're avoiding your potential, you're avoiding your life, you're avoiding the present. So you're disconnected from your body, your emotions, and your true self because you're always seeking something outside of you. And you're basically spending your life in addiction. You're spending your life allowing your lowest self to control you. You're allowing your wounds and your traumas to control you. You're allowing the environment to exploit your wounds and your traumas and your lowest self and your reptilian brain, right? You need to actually set up an environment that helps you. We'll talk about this soon. You need to recognize these tendencies inside of your mind. You need to recognize the emotions and states that drive you into addiction. You have to learn to be present with them, to feel them, to identify them, to heal them, to be grounded in those parts of you that you were once disconnected from. You need to reclaim those parts of your psyche and actually include them in your sense of who you are. So you're stuck in survival mode. Addictions and overstimulation are mechanisms to escape pain, but they also prevent higher states of creativity, love, and fulfillment. And your nervous system remains in fight, flight, freeze, and you kind of just feel uncomfortable when there's not any new stimulation, right? You kind of just stay stuck in a cycle. When there's not something going on, there's some like anxiety and some restlessness. You can't just kind of sit down and be in the moment and not just kind of start to go a little bit insane. So you're disconnected from presence as well, from your pure awareness, that which you truly are. You're ruining your ability to just be present, which is where your fulfillment is actually found. This is where you're going to find real joy, truth, love, and fulfillment, right? All the things that you really want in life are going to be found through presence, through really connecting to the experience that you're having right now. A lot of those very deep needs that you need, the things that you're really going to find lasting satisfaction in, they're going to be found in the depth of your awareness, the depth of your consciousness. They're going to be found in your raw connection to the present moment. So in essence, you're ruining your ability to feel true joy, and fulfillment, like I said, is found in deep presence and connection to your true self, connection to your direct experience. So what do you actually do? How do you begin to really overcome brain rot, for real, like a practical, Lucas, what do I do to actually overcome this? So you need to actually have a mindfulness meditation practice. Now, for those of you who say, I can't practice it, I can't focus, right? So I've been meditating every day for about 7+ years. First time I sat down to meditate, I could not even do it for 30 seconds. But I went back and I did the next day, I did it for 1 minute. And I've done many, many long Vipassana retreats. So it's 10 days of meditating. I've done, every day I do an hour minimum of meditation. So of course, recognize that you got to practice, right? You got to practice to get good at it, and you got to have some kind of commitment and long-term vision here to actually get any kinds of results, right? So we're trying to pave that path forward so that you don't feel the desire to really remain stuck all day on this thing right here scrolling. Right, moving on is emotional processing. So to heal your addictions, you need to actually process the emotions that are driving you to do your addictive behavior, right? Shame, sadness, stress, anger, frustration, guilt, grief, things like this. You need to actually realize what emotion is driving me and reconnect to it. What state am I in that's driving me to do this kind of addictive behavior? I'm bored, so now I'm scrolling on my phone. I'm anxious, so now I'm scrolling on my phone, right? I'm feeling ashamed of myself in a sense of just low self-worth. Now I'm going to those adult websites. I'm going to go watch that corn, right? I can't say the P word here on YouTube. Self-reflection as well. You need to actually question, right? What am I doing and why? Like I said in the beginning of the video, you live your life on autopilot. So you're doing things, you don't really know why you're doing them, and they're just ingrained into you, and you're just kind of like a puppet on a string. You need to actually question, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? You need to, again, practice meditation so you can observe yourself in the present moment, so you can process those emotions, so you can be aware of yourself in the moment and break out of that sort of hypnotic state that you're actually in. That's what the sort of subconscious does. So reading is really important. Put good information into your mind. This is extremely healing. I have a free book list. Check it out. Buy those books, purchase them. Put healthy information into your mind. I promise you this is very transformative. This is going to heal your mind. And reading is just very good for your mental health. Focusing on it is very good for your mental health. It's good for your relationships. When you read 5-10 books on relationships, it's good for your career. When you read 5-10 books on a particular career, it's good for your understanding of life and self. When you read things like spirituality and consciousness, psychology, self-actualization, personal development, etc. I have a lot of books on there. Check them out. Healthy eating as well. Make sure that the foods that you eat are very, very clean. Don't eat a lot of disgusting processed foods. A lot of fruits and vegetables. Make sure you're hydrated. A lot of people are like chronically dehydrated nowadays. Drink a lot of water, squeeze some lime, some lemon into your water. Give your body what it needs. Like truly love your body. Give it a lot of the things that it needs to actually be well and to feel light, to feel clear. Moving on is addiction management and healing addiction. So you need to take this one very, very, very seriously. Like I said, everyone has lots of addictions until they really start to do some good addiction management and some good reflection on their addictions and why they're addicted to the things that they're addicted to. So you need to actually inquire into, why am I addicted to this? What am I feeling, right? What tendencies here? What's the pattern? When does it arise? How do I process this feeling? How do I set up a good environment so that, I'm not falling into the same traps? Because if you have a bad environment, it doesn't support you, it's going to be very hard to break free. So you want to kind of stack the odds in your favor. Make your environment work for you and do the inner work so that, right, both of these are together and then you're free. It's a lot easier. Writing and journaling as well. Like actually write down your thoughts. Write down these reflections. Like ask the question, sit with it like a true philosopher. Sit there, I do this all the time, just kind of, right, rubbing my beard. Just sit there with the question until you figure it out. Not just kind of blurting anything, but really contemplating. Like open your mind up and actually fucking use it. Hopefully I don't get censored for that one. So create a good environment for yourself that's free of distractions and overstimulation, and learn to set boundaries with technology, junk food, and any form of stimulation. If you don't, it's going to control your life. You need to actually commit to setting that boundary. Like, I'm only going to use my phone for 20 minutes today. I'm only going to eat a piece of cake once every 2 weeks, right? And like, you have a strong commitment to that, not by force, but through pure self-awareness and presence and connection to yourself. So it's not this like forcefulness upon yourself, but it's like, you're present and connected to yourself, and because of that, your ability to be disciplined is easy because you're really connected to your true self and you do not want to sacrifice that connection. So that's it for this video. I'm actually running a school community right now where I help people with this exact kind of stuff. It goes very, very deep. I also offer one-to-one coaching where we go quite deep into the psychological structures that basically sabotage your life and make you suffer and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in working with me, if you find that valuable, right, if you enjoy my content, I would really recommend looking into working with me. It's an incredible experience. I've worked with people for many years now. Take it easy.